I now recognize Ms. Malliotakis from New York for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Daszak, gain of function is broadly understood as a type of research that modifies a biological agent so that it confers new and enhanced activity to that agent. Does that describe any of the work that Wuhan conducted as far as you are knowledgeable?
That is not the definition of gain of function.
Okay, then what is your definition?
I don't have a personal definition.
Okay, but did you, well, then let me ask this question. Did any of the research that you funded through your organization at Wuhan Lab modify a virus to make it more infectious among humans? Yes or no?
No, that was not the goal of our work, and that's why it was not considered gain of function.
Okay, but in 2016...
Will the gentlelady suspend for just a moment?
Yes.
Under the rules of the House, the chairman is responsible for maintaining order and preserving decorum in the committee room. I expect audience members to be respectful of the witnesses, members, and public, and there should be no filming. I yield back.
In 2016, in an email to NIH, you said, "We are happy to hear that our gain-of-function research funding ban has, or prohibition has, a pause rather, has been lifted." So what gain-of-function therefore followed?
Well, they paused our research because of the gain of function pause. They lifted the pause on our research. That was the response I was
so after that period of time, you did not fund any research that modified a virus to make more infectious among humans? Yes.
EcoHealth Alliance never has and did not do gain of function research by definition.
Are you aware of Wuhan Lab conducting that type of research?
No.
Okay. The State Department has indicated ties between Chinese military and WIV since 2017. You testified earlier that you were not aware of any type of military activity at the WIV.
I've never seen any. I've never seen any reliable reporting of any.
Okay. EcoHealth received tens of millions of dollars from the Defense Department. Did any of this money make its way to the WIV?
Not a single cent.
Okay. Did any scientific information derived with those funds make its way to the WIV?
The scientific information derived from the DTRA work that we do goes to DTRA and the American people.
Okay, and so no technology or anything obtained with the funds from the Department of Defense made its way to the WIV?
There is no connection between the WIV and the work we do with DTRA at all whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. Why did you choose to partner with the Wuhan Lab?
Well, if you want to work in a foreign country to find the next potential risk of a pandemic, you have to work with labs in those countries. We looked at labs across China. The WIV is the premier viral research in China.
Mm-hmm. And at no time were you concerned about subpar safety conditions at this particular lab?
No. In fact, it's got very good biosafety level.
Well, I mean, I think that could be disputed at this point.
Well, I've never seen any verifiable evidence or data that suggests otherwise.
Well, I think our intelligence community has shown that they've been operating.
No, I've never seen any verifiable or real data to suggest otherwise. Intelligence community reports behind the, the security code, and I can't see those.
How much has the Eco Alliance received since the outbreak of the COVID pandemic in American tax dollars? From 2020 to today?
Our annual operating budget this year is about $16 million, so it's been about 4 years since the pandemic. So given the fluctuation in funding, approximately 4 times $15 or $16 million.
Okay. Now, colleagues on both sides of the aisle say that we want to prevent the next pandemic, yet EcoHealth is still receiving tens of millions of dollars to do risky...
To prevent the next pandemic?
Well, but
that's our goal, that's our mission, it's written into our mission.
To prevent the next pandemic, you could actually produce one. And
no.
What I want to, yes, absolutely, yes.
No, absolutely not. That's
okay.
That's not.
So although funding was stopped at EcoHealth Alliance work on bat coronaviruses in Wuhan, your researchers are still doing research on bat coronaviruses in Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. Is that correct?
Yes. Not Myanmar. We're not allowed to work there yet because of political instability.
Okay. And are you doing experiments with bats and hamsters on the deadly brain swelling Nipah virus in Bangladesh?
I would have to check if we're doing experiments on that. We certainly have funding to work on Nipah virus. It's a very real threat globally and to the American people.
And are you infecting humanized mice with zoonotic viruses in Southeast Asia?
Not to my knowledge, but I would have to check.
And did you obtain $14 million in taxpayer funds to import bats from Asia to create a breeding colony here in the United States at the State University of Colorado?
We have a collaboration with CSU to conduct work on a really significant public health threat called Nipah virus.
Okay, and now you'll be infecting those bats with deadly viruses, including the Nipah and the Ebola. Are you aware that Colorado State University has had lab accidents in the past?
There will be no infection experiments, to my knowledge, with Nipah or Ebola at CSU. That will be done at a BSL-4 facility elsewhere.
Okay, I've run out of time. I'll yield back. Thank you.
Dr. Daszak, we're going to take some of the questions that you said you'd get back to us on. We'll submit them for the record and get a response. I now